Welcome back, everybody. I hope you guys are ready for an adventure because today, we starting in this village. We're going to go all the way around the world and we're going to come right back here and close it off. But either way, welcome back, guys. Great to see you guys all here again, as per the usual. And also, thank you very much for the great support and crazy comments in the last the last video. I came through to it, and man, we had so many responses for different places, different names. We'll go through a few of them, and I'm sure there's still many more to come, but it's just crazy the amount of, oh, yep, thank you very much. The amount of different ideas you guys have come up with for names for this place, and it's really cool, ranging from different traveling places to just some things about the hill and stuff like that. Super cool. What I want to do, because the sun's currently, where is the sun? It's directly above us, okay. And what we want to do, well, at least what I want to do, is I want to go traveling the world, and I'm not going to do that until it's morning time, because of course it doesn't really make too much sense, because the sun's going to get down while we're traveling, and that's not really a fun time. So that's one thing. Another thing is, I have been keeping up with my mining. You can see there's actually this Unbreaking 3 is amazing, man. Unbreaking 3, and then also over there, I've been just breaking stuff with that, but I've managed to do a fair bit of mining. Got us 4 diamond ore. I don't seem to be too lucky with them at the moment, but hopefully in the future, I will be slightly more lucky. Let's hope for that much, but it's all right. We need fortune anyway before we start breaking stuff. So there we go, fishing rod, and there's a reason for this fishing rod, and I will show you exactly what that reason is. In fact, we'll just put that in there. Perfect. So the reason why we are going to be exploring the world, there's two. The one is a primary. The second is, I guess, a secondary reason. I wanted that luck at the sea, by the way. And I'm breaking 3. Fantastic. You can see that one's pretty terrible. We've got Unbreaking 3. Nothing too special there. Unbreaking 3. Still useless. Unbreaking 3. Still useless. And, of course, probably something... Yeah, nothing really cool over there. Okay, nothing really cool to write back home to, so about, not to, about. But there we go. We've got a shiny new fishing rod, which should have some good returns, because I've been getting pretty much just fish. A few boots and some leather. That's it. But the reason that we're exploring is because obviously I want to see the world, and I know a lot of you guys aren't as familiar as I am with the world in terms of where things are located and what's going on. So I definitely think that's a cool thing to get some more people to know at least what's going on. That's the secondary reason. The primary reason is because I really want a whole bunch of blocks, because I'm kind of limited right now with what we've got in our very close proximity. And I think as soon as we get out of there, we should have some really good blocks to play around with. So I want to go and use that as an opportunity to explore. Where's the sun? It's over there. Great. So yeah, I want to use that as an opportunity to go and explore stuff. And while we're at it, we may as well map out a bit of the world as well. So there's a few different reasons for why we're doing what we do. Primary, get ourselves a cool map. Well, get ourselves some cool blocks. Secondary, get ourselves a cool map and show you guys what's going on there. So we're back at the spawn island now, and the reason we are here, of course, is it's very central, and as far as I'm aware, there is some very good terrain to be exploring, or to be explored out in this area. Oh, these chickens are... really? You couldn't follow along with those other two. That's all right. But there's so many things to explore just off the coast over there. As far as I'm aware, there is a Mesa biome just above this hill, and after that, I have actually got absolutely no idea. But there are a few things, which, ooh, look at those turtles. There are a few things that I think are fairly important for us to get at the end of this trip, or by the end of this trip. Man, I haven't actually had a look at these things. Apparently they're meant to lay eggs, and I'm not too sure how we do that. I guess we just have to hang around, and then eventually they pop an egg down. I don't know, but we'll get to that eventually, I'm sure. So let's go and get on over to that Mesa biome. This is our first stop, so there are a few things. Thing 1, we need a bunch of hardened clay. The reason being, hardened clay is amazing. It's something I didn't appreciate until concrete blocks came out, and I was like, wait, I really didn't realize how cool this stuff was. So we definitely need a whole bunch of hardened clay, mostly just the plain stuff. I'll take these actually for maps. Mostly just the plain stuff, and in fact, we got this map, so let's click that. There's our spawn island over there, so let's just do this. I think this will work. I'm fairly certain this will work. It'll just kind of jump to one spot on the map, so we'll do that there. We'll go around again, and I'm pretty sure that is as zoomed out as this map could possibly get. Oh no, one more. Wow. All right. So we're up in that corner there. Look at that. So we've got a whole bunch of area to explore. I really probably should have done this as a like a third map, not a fourth map, but that's all right. And do we have the boat? I do. Fantastic. So this is that massive mesa that I expected to encounter. I thought it was a lot larger. I'm not going to lie. Okay, there we go. It is. It is fantastic. I was kind of let down a little bit. And look at that. That is something. There is another thing. So, by the way, while we're walking around here, if you guys get any cool ideas for places to build and all that sort of stuff, definitely pop them down in the comment section. I'm totally down to look for the future villages and future cities of this place, or even just small things that could be cool to build in. This is quite a vibrant little area, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, and also cactus. That's something I didn't even have on my list of blocks to collect, but it is very important. So some other things that are notable to collect. So cactus is one now. Jungle saplings. I think there might be a jungle down to the south there. That'll be great. If we can get some jungle saplings, we're on point. If not, we will have to continue exploring for them. Then after jungle saplings, we also need acacia saplings, because acacia is amazing. And then I think there are a few other things. For instance, the coral. That was a suggestion in the last episode to go and do some texturing with coral blocks, and I totally get what you guys are getting with that. Coral is amazing. It looks amazing. It's got all these different textures that could potentially mix in well with cobblestone. So there is something. And besides that, I think in general, those are the main ones. And also sand, actually. Sorry, there is something else. Sand. So let's go over here. I don't want to. These are so beautiful. I don't even remember mesas looking that cool. I really just don't want to break them. I feel kind of bad if I demolished some of that. So let's just keep going south here. I think there is also a jungle nearby. So if we can find the jungle, that is fantastic. Maybe even a bit of podzol. I think there might be a tiger biome near here somewhere. There's a swamp. Actually, get these. Just saw my boat come flying from nowhere. It's there's a few little weird things around about this patch. I'm still on 1.13, no new versions just as of yet, but there are some very, very weird things. I'm sure you guys probably have your fair share of run-ins with odd things. The weird lag, it feels like sometimes I think I'm like, wait, am I playing on a server right now? Like, am I playing with the server way away? Because sometimes I break a block and it's got that same sort of lag that you get when you're playing on a server. Aha, the jungle. When you're playing on a server. In fact, we could maybe bring a parrot back with us. That could be kind of neat. In fact, no, I know how annoying parrots are to move across water. Never mind. We'll leave it over there. But there's a few weird things. I'm sure you guys have had your run-ins. Also, by the way, while we're at these weird block finding things, man, these look so good with the water change. I get distracted. Leave me alone. There we go. What are some of your guys' ideas for blocks that you think most people don't use? Take it this way. I'll give you some examples. All right. So blocks that you use that most people think are absolutely hideous and should never be used ever. For me, one of them is by the way, we're just collecting extra stuff here. Is the andesite block. I'm amazed. I think it's kind of less controversial, I guess, the andesite one. But I know a lot of people really dislike andesite, and I absolutely love it. In particular, I love the version that more people dislike, which is the raw version. And I mentioned that in the last episode. And I just absolutely love it. It's just got all these wolves, that's cool. It's just got everything I've ever needed in a block. That and bone block, another thing, which I absolutely love. And not everybody likes it. So what are these sorts of things, like blocks sort of like that you guys use that would be kind of cool for me to experiment with? That's pretty much the cool thing. And not only that, of course, someone might read your comment and be like, wow, that's actually a pretty cool thing to use it. You know, instead of just saying sponge, which I'm sure someone's going to jokingly say, and you know what, if you guys mention sponge, you better back that up with a beautiful build. But there are a few things that I think would be useful, at least, for people to give a go and start trying to step out of their comfort zone with their blocks. For one, for me, of course, is granite and brick. The brick texture, of course, has been improved, so that's one thing. But granite is another one, which I really dislike. And I think now that I'm starting to use it more and more, it's actually got a very cool place in the game. And it's taken me literally years to figure it out. But finally, I think we're on the same page. And the only one that is kind of mildly in there right now for me is probably the diorite. The ice. They were the blocks that were the challenges, you know, the challenging blocks. And I'm glad they're in the game. I am. despite the fact that I would not have said that a few years ago. Man, look at that view. And don't fall down, please, Jansey. Beautiful view. So now that we got a few things, I guess we... Are they attacking? They're attacking a sheep. I'm guessing we will have a sapling from this. We've got some good jungle wood. The next thing we're going to have to go do is go exploring to the north. And in fact, let's just do a little update of the map. Bam. All right. Better remember to keep this on our fan so we can explore it a little bit more. But we're going to go over to the north. And the reason we're doing that is we're going to be looking for a desert and savanna biome. And I've got some intel on that there may very well be one. To the direct north of where we're at. And not to mention, there's a coral reef, which I am very well aware of because we were there just 2 episodes ago. And we are making, well, progress, I guess. I've gotten and started the second map, and this one I've only gone up to level 2. Where is it? There it is. Level 3, sorry. And this seems to be a lot better size than, for instance, this one over here, which is very, very small. I think the one on the left looks a little bit nicer, but we can always restart it. It's not a big deal. We haven't explored too much. In fact, the real exploration is only going to come around when we start doing the elytra sort of stuff way back. Well, not way back, way into the future when we go to the end. I don't have any plan on going to the end right now. Honestly, there's no real need. I've got so much stuff in the overworld right now. I haven't even been to the nether even. So there is definitely a whole bunch of good stuff around here that we should be able to explore before we have to go over to the end. So here we are in the, what is this, coral reef is it called? Warm ocean. Okay, maybe it'll change over. It's quite a pity that the maps don't change over. I'd love it if the maps made a difference, but that's all right. Not a big deal. So what I wanted to do is I want to get some of these blocks, but I'm not too sure what is the best way to mine them. So can I stand over? Oh, is that unstandable? Okay, I can break that. So you can break them with your pickaxe and they come up like that. Okay, yeah, let me out, please. There we go. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. I'm probably actually going to have to clear out a bit of inventory space here. What don't I need? I mean, I really don't need those. I know it's kind of rough for me to do that, but I'm going to do that. And I also only had 1 jungle sapling, so we better hope that we get something from that. Give me that, please. I need to go get some air. Perfect. And maybe, in fact, can we grow these? I'd like to know if we could actually grow some of these things. That would be really neat if we can plant one of these. I don't know if these are breakable. I would imagine with one of those. Nope. Okay, maybe they're just not breakable. There's a lot of stuff I have to learn. And man, those dolphins jumping out the water they are fantastic. But either way, what we have to do is we have to get a whole bunch of this stuff because I want to go ahead and start doing proper parts. I want to start, actually, is that because I had silk touch that I could break that? That could very well be the reason. Either way, it's faster. But I want to get some paths going. And I know that when I leave these out of water, they most likely are going to be turning into the dead varieties of these blocks. And I think it'll be a good idea for us to experiment with that at least. And we also went ahead and had a look at the desert and the savanna biomes. We got everything we needed from there. There wasn't really too much to write home on about that. But in the meantime, I have gone ahead and started shaping this. Believe it or not, you can't see much of it, but I've started shaping this and hiding in a few little hidden water blocks to make this work. So we could actually do that and just get rid of a few of these. That'll eventually go, I guess. I guess I should. Okay, there we go. It never works when you don't want it to. Like that, for instance, you know what I mean? But what we do have to contend with right now is the fact that villages are all coming down here, and I don't really like the fact that villages are coming down here because I want this to be a farmland, and farmlands get trampled by villages with, let's just say crazy villages that just jump off every single block. And apparently they all kind of conglomerate wherever I want to work on the day, which is kind of interesting, but that's all right. So let's get some good things to work with here. Some of these, a few of, yeah, actually those are pretty good blocks to work with anyway. So we'll get some of these over here, these dark oak. And I just want to make an interesting area here where we can make some farmland. We can do some improvements to here and start moving this village on so everything starts to tie together so nicely. That's really what we hope for here. Everything coming together very, very smoothly. And we actually need some of those. Yeah, you know what? Let's do all of them. We are going to eventually use that many spruce trapdoors, so why the hell not? Let's just go for it. So we'll just pop them over there and do this neat little. In fact, I do have an issue with this neat little edge on the bottom here, which I think will hopefully just discourage villagers from going up there. That's pretty much think of it this way. We try to build like a villager corral around here. We want to make sure that villagers don't jump up here. And not only that, we also want to make sure that the area looks cool as well. But not jumping up on here is pretty important. So we'll do that there. They all kind of have cleared off. The next place that I think we need to stop them from is right around here. Did I just hear... Could have sworn I just heard something being harvested there, but okay, that's fine. We'll pretend nothing happened. There we go. We'll do something like this. And what I'm thinking of doing is perhaps just making this area here slightly out of the way so that no one will walk here. So if I can perhaps do something like that, I'll probably have to put a block down under there when we get to it. If I can do something like this and make these reasonably uninteresting to villagers, I guess would be the word, like that, and you get out of here, buddy. Okay, we'll work with that eventually. Something like this, and we can actually do, I guess this is actually a better way of doing it. Like that, you see? If we can do something like this, and we can perhaps do this up another level as well, and just make it all pretty much cornered off so that a villager's AI will pretty much tell it, like, hey, villager, don't you worry. You keep doing your villager things around other places. That's what I really hope for. So let's check that from the bottom. These guys will eventually move on from there. And also, by the way, there is another thing which we are looking for. Yep, go trample all my ground, please. You missed a spot. Actually, this guy didn't even do that much. Another thing that we do have a problem with is that we don't have any farmers around here. And farmers are pretty important for us, or at least a brown-coated villager. Because what a brown-coated villager means is that we are able to get some more villagers growing around here. And it appears that some of this has already come true. I have got myself my first, birthed villager, I guess. I think, at least. I can't remember seeing two... Maybe I'm wrong. I might very well be wrong. But I don't remember seeing two cartographers in this land, which is very, very cool. But as I say, as soon as we get that second brown villager... Well, the first brown villager, they'll be perfect. We'll have everything we need. So, there we go. Potatoes. I guess this is going to be our food of choice, considering we've got only potatoes in here. That's all right. Not a big deal. All I really want is just this area to be filled up and looking a bit more interesting. I've also done a little bit of shaping around there, but just a little bit more interesting. That stuff won't do anything. That there will. And let's just test this out. And that out there. And I don't know what we'll do with this here. Maybe I'll just have to move this one up one. There we go. So, perfect. And by the way, earlier I did say I've got some word on the comments you guys left. So, there were a few comments, as I say, relating to, for instance, traveling to the city. And I'm not too sure whether or not I want this to be necessarily a spot where people travel to. When I mentioned travelers in the last episodes, I was more just talking in general of people traveling through here. But I think that could be an interesting thing to perhaps just have a look at and see what we can do with. But I think in general, that's not something I'm going to focus on. Oh, wait, I do I do all this work to stop this guy coming this side, and then they go on that side. Really? Really, buddy? But I think it'll be cool to at least work in some lore into the story. So what happens in this place? And really, I just think it's a town that's out in the blue. You come across it as you're going through places. It's kind of like if you're going on a country road and you see like a little town, and just as soon as you approach it, it's gone. That's what I'm kind of thinking of this in this world. Even though it's not on a main road, like a main pathway necessarily. You guys just don't get the memo, did you? Come on. So let's have a look at this. I'll step out this way, over there. Yeah, when that starts to grow, it's a pity I don't have a lot of bone meal, because that is actually going to look very, very neat. There are a few other things which are kind of invasive and non-invasive that can work quite well for this, and that is adding leaves as barriers. So where these guys are over here, I could really do something like this and make a leaf wall, and we'll just push this guy off there, make this not approachable from that side just at the moment. We could, well, we could do something like this over here, and that just creates this fake wall over here where villagers can't get over, and it also breaks off this area, which is the area we're working on in here, very, very nicely. You see that? We'll add it onto the top there. That's looking very boring though. So let's get into that. Yeah, that's oh, that actually gave me a fright. But some of the names that I really liked was, there was one called Traveler's Knoll, like Knoll, and I thought that was a real cool thing. Just for people traveling here, I thought the knoll sounded like something that could exist, of course. And not only that, also, I just thought it was a neat sounding name. But as I mentioned before, the travelers part is the part that I'm not 100% sure on. So, oh, really? Come on. It's something that I'm not 100% sure on. So hopefully at some stage we'll get a good idea for this village. But I think something along those lines is definitely what we're thinking of. There's also some others which were like kind of cool, which was Stone Hollow, which could be kind of cool if it was like Oak Hollow or Wood Hollow. I don't know if that's a thing, but I really don't necessarily want this place to be a stony place. So that is one reason for going against that. All right, that stupid narrator came around and ruined the day for us again, but that's all right. Yeah, so pretty much there was a few names. Stone Hollow, First Forge. Now, that was something I thought was really cool, and I really loved this name just because it sounded awesome. And not only that, I thought it would be really cool for something in the future. Stone Hollow, First Forge, sorry. I think that'll be really, really neat to just put onto a future build, you know, make our own monstrous forge out somewhere and call that First Forge. I think there can be so much done with that. I'm looking forward to eventually getting to that sort of stuff there, but it was just something that crossed my mind that could be kind of cool to consider at least. I'm actually going to put in some of this stuff, make it a bit more rugged with some of that. Yeah, make it more rugged with oak log. Beautiful. And I might even put a little bit more oak log in here, just because, why not? Let's just pop them in there. Definitely a lot better. And the reason I'm doing this, by the way, is just to break up where there's a lot of this brown. There again. And we can maybe break it up a little bit with some of these. You see, little by little, we're going to make this place look very, very interesting. It's just, there are a lot of little hiccups in the way. So there we go, we do that there. And something over here, which will be, do we not have any more oak? I guess I'm eventually going to get rid of this, so I may as well just get these gone. I want to convert this house, but it's definitely not going to have an oak log roof. I'll guarantee you that much. There will not be an oak log roof on this house. You guys can quote me on that. And I'm pretty confident in my ability to stick to that. There is something that also has changed with 1.13 here. Oh no. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. It's not a big deal. It just means crops won't grow quite as fast. But when you pick block in 1.12, oh yeah, I forgot about that. When you pick block in 1.12, it used to always just leave your tools on the hotbar and it would move over to the next available spot. But in 1.13, that doesn't appear to be in the game anymore, which is sort of annoying for someone like me who's really, really used to it. Look at that. That is cool. Adding that in there, it creates these levels. And once this grows, we've got, you know what? We've got a little bit of this stuff. I really feel kind of bad using something that's so rare to us, but let's just do it. Well, currently at least. I'm sure we're more than likely going to have a full bone block farm. There's beetroot in there, maybe a bit of beetroot in there, and we'll go grow that stuff. Whoa, that was... Why don't you just take all of it? Beetroot. And plant some of those there. Yeah, I guess I'll probably have to put a fence over there to stop them from coming in here, which we do have just over here, like this. There we go. Perfect. And let's check that out. Wonderful. So I think what I'll do is I'll just wait a few days for this to go over. I'm probably going to do some mining and fishing and stuff like that. I really need to get an Nautilus shell. Okay, that's starting to come together a little bit better, just adding in these little bits and pieces around the place. I think we'll eventually start adding up to something really, really cool. One other thing we can add there that I just realized right about now, which would be kind of cool, was some of these over here, these vines around the place. Just because, have a look at this. When we step out here, this area looks very, very boring. Just brown, nothing really too much going on. But if we go up with, oh, didn't break anything, good. I've stepped on these things way too many times. If we just do some vines, maybe, oh, wait, we can't put vines on, okay, that's kind of interesting. You can't put a vine on a path block, or a farmland block, sorry. All right, cancel that. I guess we just do a bit of this, I suppose. And then we'll see how that goes. Now, to that, perfect, nailed it. Okay, that's slightly better. Of course, if you guys have got any things to add, of course, I'd love to put them in. Maybe I'll add in a flower or two around the place. Some of those 2 tall flowers, they could look quite cool there. In the end, this is really just a matter of filling up the area between here and here before we start putting houses and more things around here. So for today, guys, this will be the episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Of course, thank you so much for joining me in another one,